Have you ever stopped to wonder where your food comes from? I mean, really comes from? Not just a grocery store, but the long, winding journey that brought it to your plate. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most important stories ever told, the history of agriculture. This isn't just about farming. It's the story of how we became who we are today. For hundreds of thousands of years, our ancestors were hunter-gatherers. Imagine waking up every day with one main goal: find enough food to survive. Life was a constant search, following the herds, knowing the seasons, and understanding which plants were safe to eat. They were incredibly skilled and knowledgeable about their environment. The diet was diverse, a mix of whatever nature provided. But this way of life had its limits. Populations had to stay small, and they were always on the move. They couldn't build permanent cities or develop many of the things we now take for granted. Life was precarious, dependent entirely on the whims of nature. Then, about 12,000 years ago, something incredible happened. In a region we now call the Fertile Crescent, in the Middle East, people started to experiment. Maybe it started by accident, a dropped seed that sprouted into a plant. Or perhaps it was a gradual realization that they could intentionally plant seeds and have a more reliable food source. This was the dawn of the agricultural revolution. Early farmers began cultivating wild grasses like wheat and barley. They selected the seeds from the plants that had the best traits, the biggest grains, the strongest stalks. Over generations, this slow process of selection, what we call domestication, transformed these wild plants into the crops we know today. It wasn't just plants either. They started domesticating animals. Wild goats, sheep, and cattle were tamed, not just for their meat, but for their milk, their wool, and their muscle power to pull plows. This was a complete game changer. For the first time in human history, people could produce more food than they immediately needed. This surplus was the key that unlocked civilization. With a stable food supply, people no longer had to roam. They could build permanent settlements, which grew into villages, then towns, and eventually the first cities. Farming spread from the Fertile Crescent across the globe, but it also started independently in other places. In China, farmers began cultivating rice along the Yangtze River. In the Americas, people domesticated maize, beans, and squash. In the Andes, it was potatoes and llamas. Each region developed its own unique agricultural system based on the local plants and animals available. With permanent settlements came a new way of life. Not everyone had to be a farmer anymore. The food surplus allowed for specialization. Some people became artisans, creating pottery to store grain. Others became soldiers to protect the food stores. Priests emerged to pray for good harvests, and leaders organized the growing communities. This division of labor led to complex societies, new technologies, and the invention of writing initially used to keep track of grain and livestock. Agriculture wasn't just about food, it was the foundation for everything we call civilization, art, science, government, and culture. For thousands of years, farming remained largely dependent on human and animal labor. It was back-breaking work, but progress continued. The Romans developed more advanced irrigation systems and crop rotation techniques. During the Islamic Golden Age, scholars wrote extensive manuals on farming, introducing new crops like sugarcane and cotton to Europe. In medieval Europe, the invention of the heavy plow and the horse collar made farming more efficient, allowing farmers to cultivate tougher soils and produce more food. But the next massive leap forward came much more recently, during the British Agricultural Revolution in the 18th century. Thinkers and innovators like Jethro Tull, who invented the seed drill, and Charles Townshend, who perfected a four-field crop rotation system, brought a scientific approach to farming. The seed drill allowed for planting in neat rows, reducing seed waste and making weeding easier. The new crop rotation system involved rotating wheat, turnips, barley, and clover. This not only improved soil fertility by adding nitrogen back into the soil, but also provided fodder to feed livestock year-round. More livestock meant more manure for fertilizer, creating a virtuous cycle of productivity. This revolution, combined with the Industrial Revolution, transformed agriculture forever. Steam-powered tractors began to replace horses and oxen. New machines like the mechanical reaper made harvesting vastly more efficient. Suddenly, one farmer could do the work that once required dozens of people. This led to a massive migration of people from rural farms to urban cities to work in the new factories, fundamentally reshaping society once again. The 20th century pushed these changes into overdrive. The development of synthetic fertilizers, particularly the Haber-Bosch process, which allowed for the mass production of ammonia-based fertilizers, was a monumental breakthrough. For the first time, we weren't just relying on manure or crop rotation to enrich the soil. We could manufacture plant food. This led to the Green Revolution in the mid-20th century. Scientists like Norman Borlaug developed high-yield varieties of wheat and rice. These new crops, when combined with synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, dramatically increased food production around the world. It is estimated that these innovations saved over 1 billion people from starvation and allowed the global population to explode. Today, we live in the era of modern, industrial agriculture. We have GPS-guided tractors that can plant seeds with pinpoint accuracy, drones that monitor crop health from the sky, and genetic engineering that allows us to create crops resistant to pests, diseases, and drought. The scale of modern farming is breathtaking. Massive farms, often growing a single crop, a practice known as monoculture, can feed millions. But this incredible productivity has come with its own set of challenges. The heavy use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides can pollute our water and harm ecosystems. Monocultures can deplete soil health and make our food supply more vulnerable to a single disease or pest. There are also growing concerns about animal welfare in large-scale livestock operations and the significant carbon footprint of our global food system. In response to these challenges, a new movement is growing. People are exploring alternative ways of farming, like organic farming, which avoids synthetic chemicals. Permaculture seeks to design agricultural systems that mimic natural ecosystems. Vertical farming in cities promises to grow food locally with less water and land. We are at another turning point, trying to figure out how to feed a growing global population projected to reach nearly 10 billion by 2050 sustainably, without destroying the planet that feeds us. From a handful of seeds planted in the Fertile Crescent to vast, automated farms that feed the world, the story of agriculture is the story of human ingenuity, innovation, and our complex relationship with the natural world. It's a story that's still being written, and the choices we make today about how we grow our food will shape the future of humanity. So next time you sit down for a meal, take a moment to think about the incredible journey that food has taken. It's a journey thousands of years in the making, and it connects every single one of us. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey through agricultural history fascinating, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next one.